What's up, sons? It's Blind Rod with Son of a Tech once again, and welcome to part 2 of the Warframe Quake 2018 PC mod, which that's the first time I said Warframe. You guys will see why, of course, we're calling it the Warframe mod, but not quite yet. Unfortunately, it's not quite, there's no time for paint or really PC case modding, so I'm a little sad. We're probably gonna have to take it all down after QuakeCon and redo it, but we're gonna get started on installing the two 120mm radiators. So these guys right here, we got one there, and I think, I don't know, either one's, that's the empty box. There's one under here too. And we're gonna get the fans installed on those. Kind of the downside here is I had two options. I have some IAGOs that will actually integrate with the Biski RGB, and I would only have to have one controller, but then I'd have to run IAGO fans, and they don't have any fan speed control really. The motherboard won't take care of that, which I guess could be okay for, you know, the two exhausts, but I don't know. I don't know. Let's actually go confirm that. Let's go, I'm gonna go grab those fans and I'll be right back. So interestingly enough, we have these IAGO fans, I guess more with the, because they're that, I guess whatever that standard is. We'll show you guys here. Whatever that standard is seems to be the same as the water block RGB standard. So you'll see here, this controller here actually has fan slots for RGB fans, and as well as the two RGB headers for the water block. So in theory, because of that, we could actually just control our fans here, I think. Let me see how this goes in. Yeah. Does that work? Yep. So these just snap in, the IAGO fans, and that reduces the amount of work I have to do as far as mounting controllers. Now, it doesn't look like this controller here has any fan speed options on it, but it does have the lights. But at least for QuakeCon, we can go with the IAGO. We're basically going to go with Chinese parts for our PC mod, but they'll all be synced up, and the only things that won't be synced up will be the motherboard and the Fantech RGB strip, which, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal. So the only other issue is I wanted to do 3 strips here, here, and here. I don't have a splitter, so I only have 2 strips in. We'll have to see what we think. But I think we're gonna go ahead and mount these fans right here up to the radiators and then get the radiators installed. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I haven't really decided if I want to go up and down or up top. Okay, so I'll give you guys an idea of how the loop's gonna go. So the loop this is our in the middle, and that's our out. Don't mind the cables, I'm not rerouting them through there. We're gonna line it up directly with the edge of the GPU right here. With this Alpha Cool logo facing out. Our in is actually in the center and our out is right here. This out will line up directly here. So we're gonna go out from the pump, probably do like a little L and then another little L. It'll look good. It'll just be like a little 290s. Should be simple, right into there. And we'll come out from here into the top radiator, out from the top radiator down, do a little curve around here and hit our water block. This is the in on the water block here, and then out from here to this radiator. And my only decision is gonna be, do I want to route down and then have the water pump up through and then back out? So we basically be pumping up and then out, or we pump up, or then we pump down, come up and then come out the top. And then the line would go here. So this line would go basically lined up right here. It would come out, go up, and then just a 90. So the debate is, and I'm gonna make the decision, you guys can yell at me later, but the debate is mounting straight up and down, or mounting up like this, or flipping it and mounting down like this. And I think the answer is, for look. See, so the positive about being here is that you'll be able to see more of the water block. The negative is you have one line that comes out and it's kind of boring. The positive about coming up like this is we can have one nice long line coming out and down here. And this one would just, you know, derp straight up into there. So I think I want to go this route. Yeah. Ooh. So so this is the in for the GPU and this is the out, and we had a plan that we were going to come straight down to here. Obviously with the fan here we can't do that, so we're going to have to put like a 90 here and then come out, which is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. The other thing we could do, I mean honestly, is we might be able to make just enough of a bend. No, we won't. We won't have room. We'll have to put a 90 right here. Okay, so I was a little worried about extensions once I got basically everything together. I realized that we're going to need extensions to come down out of here. I realized that, and this is not necessarily true, we could probably do a bend, but we are probably going to need a couple extensions. We aren't going to need extensions for here because these are going to be coming out and going that way. But anytime we come out and go down, we would either have to actually do a 90 here, which is already going to get awkward, or something else. Now, for the GPU part here, it does look like, of course, a straight line here is not going to work, even with the smaller tubing that we have. So we're probably going to have to pull some little trickery here with a 90. So what we're going to do probably, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time bending, is these two should line up. Yeah, they do. So we could either come all the way down and then loop back. So 90, 90, which actually works out nice. So yeah, let's basically do that. I have no problem with that, actually. So we'll go bada boom, Bada boom. And then we'll just make it like a little square right here. We'll come out, do a 90, do another 90 and come in. And then we're only dealing with 90s, which is simple. And I don't have to waste any extensions that I might not want to waste. And sometimes there's this little hint. Sometimes you cut short. I know, blasphemy. And if you cut short, sometimes those extensions can save your ass. If you got two perfect 90 bends and you're in pressure, which we only got like a couple days to get this done. So that'll actually work out perfect. As far as this one goes, we could either use an extension and come out. This is the awkward one because we're gonna have to come out here, down, and then over here. So I might just take a super long extension like this one and then a 90. Really depends on, those are the two I'm worried. I'm worried about this one and this one the most. Coming down out of here is going to be pretty easy. We're just going to come straight down, did it, run across the bottom, come in, and then come into the end. Like, that's going to be the most bends, the most difficult bends, but it's not going to be the worst thing ever. This one could turn into the worst thing ever just because of the way these line up. So our options are, we could do this, and then does that line us up directly there? If we can get this out of the way. I think it does. I think this brings us right in line. Oh yeah. So this should be able to come blop, blop. And then even if we did something crazy, like we didn't want to mess with it too much, these extensions on that really annoying one. Because coming out of here, well yeah, coming out of here, we're gonna work on that one for a while, but that one's gonna be freehand. If I can get rid of like some of the more difficult bends, which no, this one will not, this is too long of one. So we might have to do one bend here. It's either that or do a bend up top here, but I think we do the bend here, which is actually gonna be a pretty shitty bend to have to do. We have one more extension. I don't think this one will do it. I think we would literally need the same extension that we already have on there. Actually, maybe not. Maybe, yeah, probably. But let's give this a shot because this extension's much shorter. So if we go like this, oh yeah. Okay, that makes this project really, really, really easy because now we just have, I think it's lined. Oh no, we're a few off. We're a few millimeters off. Yeah, because that doesn't line up exactly either. There to there. So well, let's try that. Let's flip these around real quick. I don't even know what size this one is. If we go like that and like this, do those line up? Or do I need, so this was a 30 millimeter. I don't have any other extensions. I used to have an adjustable extension, but I think I used it. So I used it. So I think we're going back to plan B. I think what I'm gonna try to do here, let me see how long this one was. So this is a 20 millimeter. That's a 30. And that 30 doesn't quite line us up with that hole now, does it? I don't remember. I think it was off by a tad. Let me throw this piece together back again and see. I mean, we know we're short, but the question is how much? So eyeballing it's kind of hard. We want two 25 millimeter extensions. It's either that or do a bend, but that bend's not even gonna line up because it's too far out this way. Yeah, okay. The only other option is like go cray-cray. Cray-cray. Is that a thing? The only other option is go crazy. But I think this didn't even line. Let me double check and make sure this didn't line up. It's perfect for ram height. Yeah. Okay, no. It needs to be, we need two 25 millimeter extensions. If we did that, then we could just line them right up. Okay, so unfortunately, it's not going, we don't have anything we can order overnight. that's fine. That just means we're gonna have to actually do two really tight bends. Really tight bends. So we'll freehand the whole thing. I don't know if I have one that's long enough already. Probably this one right here. We'll just freehand it, because we can do that. So the next thing that we're gonna want to do is mount the pump. Since we've already messed with all of that, we are gonna actually make this pretty simple on ourselves and mount it just like this. The only downside here, unfortunately, is not really having a good spot to mount the drain, because I would, you know, try to do something like this and put the drain back there, back here. Instead, we're gonna have to put it in line, so we're probably gonna put it in line right here. The thing that I realized though is that I do not have a three-way splitter. I mean, the only other idea that I honestly had, and we might do, is put the drain right here. So I'll show you what that would look like. Okay, so I had to order one male-to-male extension, and then we are just going to take the ball valve and throw it right here. The extension should push us out to about there. As far as the draining, it's not going to be ideal, because we're going to be stuck out to here, so it's going to be a little difficult. But I mean, we can just throw it like this and it'll look pretty good. And while it won't be exactly like I would like it, we could even possibly just throw a 90 on there while we're doing it, essentially. Let's see if this would fit. Oh, it probably won't fit, but we'd have to get a splitter. Now, actually, that won't work either. That won't look good. So the best is going to be right here. So that's what we'll do. It is what it is. We're fine. And then this would basically, we just wouldn't use this cap. We can take this cap off, because I don't want it, and we can put the black one on. Boys, I'm such an idiot. I knew I was rushing something and gonna fuck something up. We can't mount this here because we have to plug the GPU in. I'm so used to GPUs having the plug facing the other direction that I didn't even think twice about it. But on the Nano, it faces out the back. Oh my gosh. So that's what I just did. So we just royally fucked this because we're gonna have holes in our case now. I will have to figure out how to fill after we figure out where we're gonna put the damn res. So I mean, we could probably push it out further this way, which is fine. Okay. We can go pretty close. We can go to like here, which should give us just enough room. I should have left that graphics. I wonder if we would have enough room if I just bounce this back over this way. Okay boys, so to clear up my mess up where I accidentally basically drilled the holes wrong for my pump because of where the PCIe power was on the GPU, I covered it up with a crypto stack key, which is an etcher that you use actually right here, and you etch into the metal your pneumatic phrases to recover your Bitcoin wallets and other cryptocurrency wallets. They're super awesome. I'll leave a link to them for you crypto guys. Instead of putting, of course, my pneumatic key on there, we went ahead and put the parts or companies that are in the build. I thought that would be a neat little way to handle it, and it basically covers up my mess up. This is going to wrap up the part 2 of the Warframe QuakeCon 2018 PC mod. Things did not quite go that swell this time around. We messed up 2 bends. My heat gun, I was derping on what turned it up and what turned it down. So on the second one, I thought I turned it down, I turned it up, which blistered the tube, which really sucks. And then before that, instead of realizing we had the 6-pin on the back side of the R9 Nano Fury, I wasn't used to that. Since we didn't recognize that as, you know, being that way, we wanted to butt this up, which means we drilled 2 holes that we had to then cover up, which we covered up with the crypto key stack. However, if we can get all of the bends done, we should be able to get it all pinned up and ready to go for QuakeCon on Thursday, which is kind of the goal. I think we're pretty far along. There's not a ton. All the cables are run. To be honest with you, the cables from V1 Tech are not going to go in. Primarily because we could maybe pull the GPU out and then put the VGA in, which we might attempt that. The 24 pin, we should be able to get to that just fine. So those 2, the rest are hidden. You can't see them, so they're gonna stay exactly where they're at. The only other ones was the front panel, which I can't remember if we actually plugged in or not. So all the cables are run and everything is ready to go. Everything's on pace. We just had a couple mess ups here and there. Continue to stay tuned in. Part 3 will be coming here shortly, and I hope to see you at QuakeCon. If you're going to be out there, come say hi. I'll post my seat and everything on Twitter at SonOfAttack. I'll also be chatting in Discord, and I'll probably be playing Warframe, to be honest, the entire time. So if you're down for some Warframe, hit me up. Until next time, I'll see you next Tuesday.